Hey guys, I had a request and some people wondered what I was still having in my bag or have in my bag, what I'm still carrying. So I thought I'd do a real quick gear review. Not going to go into any great depth, just tell you what I've replaced and what I haven't. And I'm going to start first here with my sleep system. All right, as you can tell, I'm in a Quality Inn here. So I just thought I'd do this. What I've got here is I've got my booties. These are Enlightened Equipment booties. These are synthetic. I still have them. I can get rid of them because honestly, even when it was really cold, I could put those on without socks and my feet stayed warm. This is my Gossamer gear pad. Started out with this, love it. Use it underneath my sleeping bag in a shelter or in my tent. It stops my sleeping pad from sliding around. Speaking of sleeping pads, I've got the Thermarest Neo Air. I did end up with a couple holes in it, but I patched them when I was in Harper's Ferry, so it's been working great. No issues there. I still have the bag so you can blow it up. I haven't had to do that by mouth, and I'm loving it. Next to that, I got an inflatable pillow. I did not start with this pillow, but I ended up with it. I found that even though I don't like inflatable pillows, it's better under my head than using my clothes. The next thing is just the bag that I use to keep my my quilt and my pillow and my booties in. And then I have my sleeping socks. These are an addition I've added since being on the trail. I went to a hostel that had alpacas and they had these socks and I bought them and they are super soft and warm and I love them. And I use them as my camp sleep socks, but I usually end up taking them off at night because they're too warm. These are my sleep clothes. I just got a pair of shorts and a synthetic shirt, short sleeve that I wear. And then that big thing there is my 20-degree quilt Enlightened Equipment. I did start out with a 0. Boy, was I glad I did that because we had some really cold nights. But this 20 is definitely, I'm glad it's a quilt so I can unzip it and stuff. We've had some cold nights and I've enjoyed having the 20, and then there's other nights where it was really warm. All right, next thing I'll do is I'll just go over the rest of my clothes. Oops, one thing I forgot for my sleep system is my tent. I still have the duplex. I love it. The only thing I really dislike on the trail is putting away a wet, dirty tent. But I do still have the duplex and I plan on keeping it all the way through. All right, next thing is my my clothes. I have a pair of shorts here, just like black running shorts, and a smart wool short sleeve shirt. This is one set of hiking clothes. I'm actually wearing another, and I'll turn this around in a minute and show you what I have on. This is a Z-Pack pillow bag that I use to put my clothes in, and I use it as a pillow for in between my knees. I have 2 buffs. I have a big long buff and I have a short buff, and it depends on the weather. And honestly, having 2 when it was cold, one I like to keep around my neck and the other one on top of my head. I got 2 pair of 32-degree cool underwear that I wear. I do not wear underwear at night when I'm in my sleep clothes, so I don't worry about those. I've still got my R1. Love it. Start a lot of mornings when it's cool in it. Not shortly thereafter, I take it off and just shove it in the back of my bag or through one of the straps. These are just knee sleeves. I find that they keep my knees warm. They seem to help. I haven't really had much knee problems, so I'm going to keep wearing them. This has not changed at all. This is my rain gear. This is just my raincoat. My what they're called dance pants I got off of Amazon, and my rain mitts. These are replacements. I should tell you that I did have to take the ones I initially had and throw them away and buy new ones because they started to fall apart. These are mitten gloves. I love these. I bought these in Damascus because my other gloves, I had some wool gloves, they just started falling apart. So I got these and I've been carrying them ever since. And it's nice because you can put your hands in there, then you can flip the mitten part back and let your hands and your thumb breathe and use your phone and do all that stuff. I got 3 pair of smart wool socks that I wear. I try to wear them for 2 days, but if they get wet and nasty, I can change them out. These are my gaiters. Try to keep the rocks and stuff. Believe it or not, even with them on, you still sometimes get rocks in your shoes, so it's kind of can be frustrating because I hate to stop and have to take my shoes off. And then I got my Patagonia Puffy, and I will keep this the whole way. One, it doesn't weigh much, and I like to put it on when I get to camp because there's something about being out here for a while, and you get cold when you stop. And I don't know if that's going to continue throughout the summer or not, but I'm keeping it. So everything I got here, the only thing that's been added is the small buff and the changed out of the knee pads. And I did add this pair of AT Darn Tough socks just because I thought that was cool because it had the AT on it. And then of course the mitten gloves that I talked about earlier. All right, the next thing is my food, water, cooking stuff. I started out with 2 small smart water bottles. I change them out occasionally, and I always have the sports cap, just easier. I did have a knock bladder, but it ended up springing a hole, so now I just use a 1 liter bottle for dirty, and then I just screw my Sawyer right on top. This is my food bag. Believe it or not, that's only like 2 days of food. You'd be surprised how much food you have to carry and how many calories you have to consume. One thing about me is I started the trip at 173 and I weigh 170 now. I'm not like a lot of these people that have lost 30, 40 pounds. I've only lost 3 pounds in this whole trip. Nothing has changed here. This is the same cook kit I had. Oh, I take that back. I did add a light AF bag for it all to go in. But this is the same pot, the same stove that I had before, and I just got a small Bic lighter. But that's my food and water kit. Okay, next thing is my electronics. This is just a small light AF green bag that I put all my electronics in. This is a 20,000 battery, which is more than enough even vlogging. The white is my charger, my plug-in charger. Then I have my next thing is my Garmin InReach. I use this to send messages to my family that I'm starting my hike, that I'm done for the day. That's about all that I use it for. And tracking, so they can track me. The biggest thing I learned with that was don't forget to turn it off at night because it will keep tracking you and run down your battery. These are just miscellaneous cords I have. The cord for my phone, which I'm using to record this, which is the iPhone 12. The cord for the InReach, the cord for my watch. So I got the Garmin that I use to track how many miles, how fast I'm going, all that stuff. I got my Nightcore headlamp, and then I have a pair of headphones, wireless. I actually just bought these yesterday. I had sent home a pair, and I decided you've got to the point with the rocks and stuff that on occasion it'd be nice to listen to a podcast or some music or something. So I picked these up as well. All right, the next thing we have is just a bag that I like to keep my, I guess you could call my personal items in it. I don't know what else to call it. My hygiene stuff. I got my hand sanitizer. I've got toilet paper, my Body Glide, which honestly I have not used at all. Desitin, which I picked up in Helen, and I've been using it. It helps with chafing. I've got my pee bottle for in my tent at night. And I've graduated from just taking toilet paper to taking a whole roll of toilet paper and smashing it and putting it in a bag. You do not want to run out of toilet paper, and it's not readily available. The next is just miscellaneous. I keep it all in this blue bag. This other bag has some tenacious tape, some earplugs, some KT tape, and things like that. Underneath that, I've got some prescriptions, and I've got some other Tylenol, ibuprofen, things like that. Chapstick, dental floss, a toothbrush. I actually upgraded from having just a toothbrush to this little electric toothbrush. A toothpaste. I did pick up a comb. I finally had hair after a couple months, so I've actually been using that. My first aid kit, nothing has changed with that. And I picked up a little bit of lotion because I noticed that my legs and arms were starting to dry out because of the cold. So I've got it. It doesn't weigh much, and it helps so you don't look like a lizard. But really, none of this stuff has changed except for the upgrade of the toothbrush, excuse me, and adding some lotion and more toilet paper, because toilet paper is important. All right. Okay, the last several things is my light AF bag. It is water repellent, not waterproof. I don't know how many times it's rained and I found water inside the bottom of it. And in fact, a couple of the attachments have broken, which I'm not exactly happy with. But all in all, I like the bag. Hopefully I can get it fixed, or it's still usable when I get done. This is nothing but a sweat rag, snot rag, whatever. I hang that from my bag in the front so I can have easily access it. This here is a sit pad, and I also use it right outside of my tent so that I can kneel on it in the morning as I crawl out. I got a fanny pack, which is also for light AF, and it is not waterproof. It rained one time during the day, and my M&Ms, peanut M&Ms, got soaked and the bag disintegrated, and I had peanut M&Ms all in the bottom of my bag in a little puddle. So it lets water in, but it looks like it doesn't let water out. These are just my glasses and a little thing that I slide them in from getting scratched up. This is my wallet. One thing about it, I have a strap on it. I only took it off for now. I usually keep this around my neck 99.9% of the time. It's got everything in it. My IDs, my credit cards, my debit cards, stuff like that. My trekking poles, I have no complaints with my trekking poles. They're a cheap brand that I bought off of Amazon. I think I paid like 30 bucks for them. I like the black and the red, so I went with it. I did have to replace the tips near the end of Virginia, so it probably made it about 900 miles. Hopefully the new tips, which are probably better, will last. These are my camp shoes, just a cheap pair of clogs that are very lightweight. I added the little rubber little bungee cord straps on the back so they stay on my feet. I got these off of Amazon. They were dirt cheap. None of this is a change from what I started with. So honestly, folks, most of the gear I started with, I still have. I like I said, I changed out the quilt to something 20 degrees instead of 0 degrees. And a few little things here and there. I have not had anything totally fail except for the water bladder. And then I just used a smart water bottle, 1 liter, to take care of that and replace it. So I haven't had to replace and spend money on gear. So I'm pretty happy with that. As you can see, I've got this red shirt on. It's a long sleeve. It is also a hiking shirt. And then I have a pair of black shorts on that are running shorts exactly like the ones that I showed you for hiking. I don't sleep in them because they have a zipper pocket in the very back. And I think that may be what put the small holes in my sleeping pad. So now I just use them for hiking and keep my other pair of shorts for sleeping. All right, if you have any questions on my stuff. Oh, by the way, lastly, I forgot to mention, I did start the trail with a pair of Ultra Lone Peak 4.5s. Those lasted till Franklin. and I had to get rid of them. They were just destroying my feet. I had shin splints. My feet were just hurting all the time. And it's weird because I wore Ultra for years to do my hikes. But I switched them out, and I actually went to North Face, which I'd never even heard or even knew that they made trail running shoes. And I was a little apprehensive, you could say. And they actually worked out really well. The first pair lasted 350 miles, and I changed them out early just so I didn't want them to fail on the trail. Bought another pair, which was like an upgraded model. And they seem to work as well. I did, once I got up to close to 500 miles, I started having a lot of heel pain and got some blisters. So, I had to get rid of those. And I didn't order any shoes, so I just thought I'd pick something up at the store, the outdoor store in, I can't even remember, in Virginia. But I went there and all they basically had was Ultras. So I ended up getting the Ultra Olympus. And I've had them for probably, I don't know, 125, 130 miles, maybe a little more, I'm not sure. But I'll be honest, I'm not a fan. I will keep these, and I will get hopefully through Pennsylvania with them, but I think eventually I will be trading these out because I don't like the feel of them. And I ended up hurting myself a little bit yesterday going through the maze here in Pennsylvania, which is a rocky area where you do some bouldering. You have to climb up, throw your hiking poles up or throw them down to get to it. And I think I came down on a rock and twisted my ankle or something and strained a tendon or a ligament or something. I'm not sure. I've been icing it. And it seems to be better. I plan on hitting the trail tomorrow. But these shoes could be part of the problem as well. And I am no longer, I used to be an Ultra fan through and through, and now I'm not. And hopefully I'll be able to get something new here in the next couple 300 miles. I will be changing these shoes out though before they hit 450 miles. I am not gonna go through them going bad on me like I did with the North Face shoes. All right, well, if you have any comments, questions, let me know. I'm willing to share all I know. All right, I hope you guys are having a great day. I will see you in the morning back on trail.